Good morning, class. This morning we'll be looking at concept of diversity. The world is increasingly becoming a village-like globalization. The workplace is becoming uh, integrated into a global village through introduction of technology within the workplace. So you have people working in, living in Nigeria, working with organization in the US. You have people living in the US working with organization in Nigeria, even within Africa. So the workplace is increasingly having so many diverse work group, and that is a unique advantage for business organizations that intend to take advantage of that. But however, there are some challenges to working within a diverse group. Every facet of life comes with advantage and disadvantage. So it is important to now mitigate against disadvantage of this great opportunity. Now, first and foremost, we need to understand concepts surrounding uh, diversity. The first thing is that within the concept of diversity, there is nothing like homogeneity, like the labor economists will claim that labor are homogeneous. But within diverse concept, there is nothing like diversity because it is very rare because we differ in every aspect of life, our physical life, our economic life, our social lives. So we cannot go by that assumption that people are homogeneous within the workplace. We differ. So diversity, therefore, is a common phenomenon within the family. The wife will be different from the husband. The children will be different among each other. Everybody has their unique advantage, even with the same family. So that is the essence of diversity. The society differ greatly from one community to another in terms of their culture, in terms of their value, in terms of their orientation, and international wise, we people of the world differ. However, Werner 2000 conceptualized diversity as a multitude of individual differences and similarities, including race, age, creed, nationality, religion, ethnicity, and sexual orientation. All these combine to give us the diverse we are talking about, and it creates a unique sense of people working together. It is being established that differences that make people unique are also source of potential conflict. Like I said earlier, diversity, you have different people working together with different ability, different competence, different value, different culture, different orientation, but however, they differ along religious line, along cultural line, along ethnical line, along sexual orientation line. There is bound to be what? Conflict. That is why industrial relations will tell you that conflict is inevitable in the workplace because of individual differences. So diversity refers to a variety of many dimensions such as race, ethnicity, gender, socioeconomic status, physical features, religious belief, marriage system, and political ideology, as I mentioned earlier. And the world is increasingly becoming globalized. You can be in Nigeria, you apply for a job in the US, and you will be accommodated in an organization in the US physically. There are so many opportunities to migrate, voluntary and also involuntary. Voluntary, you have the likes of global job talent in Canada, in US, and in UK and other parts of European, in Australia, in New Zealand, and because of people moving from different areas, especially from Africa and from Asia, into European society and American society, those regions started to experience a lot of diversity at work in terms of all those variables that we mentioned earlier. So diversity has to be managed through understanding, acceptance, and respect for each other's belief and behavior. So what are the dimensions of uh, diversity? The first one is organizational dimensions. This represents the outermost layer and consists of characteristics such as management status. We differ along that line. Even within the management status, they also differ. You have union affiliation, An organization that's affiliated to a union differ from an organization that is not affiliated to a union. And within the organization that is affiliated to a union, there are some people in Western countries where unionization is voluntary, where unionization is not compulsory. Some people may choose not to be a member of trade union. In the UK, for instance, where union membership is voluntary, most workers that work in the organization may decide not to be a member of union. They've made fair that I don't need union, so long I'm getting along very well with my work and the management of my organization. So those are unionized. In that respect, we have some characteristics that distinct them from those that are not unionized. The work content and functionality level classification are part of the people that make up the unique diversity within the workplace. The external dimension has to do with the individual, your individual ability in terms of your personal religion. You are working in an organization in our contemporary time, you have people with different religious beliefs, your educational background that makes you unique and differ from other people you work together, work experience where you worked previously, your marital status, your economic status, culture and geographical location make people to be differ. This has to do with individual differences at work, and these are sources of prejudice and discrimination at work. You also have the internal dimension. The internal dimension refers to the characteristics that are God-given or come at birth. You have age, you have race, you have ethnicity, sex, and physical features. All these are dimensions to measure diversity at workplace. Age comes with a lot of advantage. You have different generation working in the organization. You have the swing, you have the baby boomers, you have generation X, generation Y, you have the millennial children, you have the generation Z. They work together in the organization, and each has come with its own advantage. For instance, the reverse training is where you have the younger generation that are very conversant with technology to train the older worker that are less conversant with technology. You have racial diversity. It could be an advantage and it could be a source of a problem in the organization. You have ethnic diversity, can also be a source of a unique advantage and also a challenge to the organization. Sex and physical features can be a source of unique advantage and at the same time a challenge. So therefore, manager must try in as much as possible to manage diversity at work. Then you have a personal dimension that has to do with your personality at work, your individual personality. Those are innate ability, inborn characteristics that make you to be unique. So that is why individuals differ greatly from each other, even though you are born from the same family, even though you are born as twins. Each of them differ from each other because this has to do with your attitude, your needs, personal traits, your feelings, and ways of behaving. We are unique in that aspect. That is, we have large number of people with different personality traits working together is a source of unique advantage and at the same time a challenge to the organization. So therefore, manager needs to manage diversity effectively.